All right. Hey, everybody. We're back again. We're tailgating. Bruce, Marcus, I'm with Daryl. When tragedy happened for the Cowboys, our heart really hurts for them and the family. And, we talk about these sports figures, celebrities, and, we might criticize or are joyful for how they play. But it's really easy to forget that these talented people, they're people. They have their hurts, they have their ups and downs, and we all do. And we hurt for them, and we wish them the best. We really do. And I don't want to lose fact of that. And if any of you out there, a lot of us have had friends go through this kind of struggle. Reach out to them. Reach out to anyone that can help because they matter. We all matter. We're all special. They may be athletes we're talking about, but all of us, we're all special. So, we just want to say, please take care.
Yeah, no doubt. And check in on people. I know November is Mental Health Month, and I came across an article or actually a video earlier today. It was from a young lady, and she's like, if you have men in your life, just check in on them, right? A lot of men, especially when you think about men from our generation, Gen X, boomers, even the millennials, right? We're raised to just deal with it, right? You can't express frustration or weakness, etc. It's always frowned upon. And, when you have to internalize that and carry that weight, it just puts a lot on people. And it's usually, in so many cases, right, it's people you think that have these ideal lives, like somebody who's made it to the pros and in the NFL. And again, you just never know. So just check in on people. And if they, even check in on the strong ones, because sometimes those are the ones who really are carrying a lot and they just don't ever express it. So,
Well, it's like Robin Williams says, people don't fake sadness, they fake happiness. So,
right. Mm-hmm.
So you're right about the strongness. Okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and move on. And that hurts, doesn't it? Anyway, going back to you, Daryl, with your Houston Texans. I mean, they're 4-5, so I guess a little glimmer of hope was just a glimmer of hope. What are you thinking?
I don't understand these guys. I really don't, man. I do know how important a defensive game is, and we saw in the beginning stages of the season what happens when your offense is giving up the ball, at midfield.
Yeah.
And, but the defense still play good enough to be recognized as the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden we have this offense that act like they know what they're doing. I mean, and it's still every other week. Like I said before, it's every other week where they perform like the best offense in the league.
I don't
I don't even know if I want to talk. This is triggering to me. I'm upset. I mean, it made me wanna throw some, or throw somebody. This is ridiculously crazy. And I'm done. Next.
Yeah. All right. I get that song. Makes me want to shout in my head going like that, so, because it does. You do put your heart and soul in these teams. And, well. All right. Well, Kansas City, what are they, third place? They're 5-4. I think they're in third place. They're not looking like the juggernaut this year. And we keep holding out hope for them a little bit. I know it's not our team, except their genesis was in Dallas. They started in Dallas, and their quarterback is a Texan. So I kind of watching them there. And, the Hunt family, of course, is big Dallas people, but I'm not sure this is their year. What do you think?
Well, I mean, they're not, like this time last year, right? I mean, we were looking at them as a team that was going to, be the dynasty, right? They were going to be like the new version of the Patriots. But, this year has not necessarily been their best year. I mean, they're sitting, 5-4, third in the AFC West. This is not the Kansas City Chiefs franchise that they were. And a lot of times it goes down to chemistry and, obviously injuries play a factor. And, always things, circumstances that can shift the trajectory of a team from one year to the next. But I just didn't expect the Chiefs. I mean, it's kind of certain teams you just kind of expect, even a bad year, they're not going to be sitting in third place in their division. But yeah, this has been an interesting season, right? I mean, even just recently losing to the Bills, 28-21. I mean, that was tough. That was tough to watch.
But what's better, dominating the whole season, or struggling through midseason and then dominating throughout the end of the season?
Those are two different questions, D. I think one, from an entertainment perspective, if you're just kind of you're not a Kansas City fan, yeah, you want an underdog, you want a story, a journey, a hero that failed and got back up. And again, I don't think anybody is dumb enough to count Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and that group out. I'm not saying that this is a throwaway season from them. It's just, we just hadn't seen it in a while. The core nucleus of that team is still there. They still have their coach. It's just interesting to see them, come off last season, right, and then go to where they're at right now. I mean, their offense is ranked, 9th, and then that's just not them. They're usually in the top 3 when it comes to just the offensive efficiency, et cetera. But I don't know. I'm with you.
Remember when Bill Parcells told Tony Romo, he was coming up, don't go Hollywood. You got a lot of talent. I don't know how much is true, and they need to make a living by doing commercials. But you see Patrick Mahomes pop up, Coach pops up, and Kelsey pop up, and and now you see a CeeDee Lamb popping up. You wonder, are these commercials, and I know it probably only takes them a day, from their standpoint, they get the other actors out there and then they just show up. But still, I wonder sometimes how much that's a distraction or not. I don't know,
Maybe. But I don't think. I think their problems are more just kind of internal. They're just something out a little, it's like a choir, right? You got that one kid in the back that's just singing off key, and that's throwing the whole harmony up right now. So
that was always me. That's why my music director insisted I go play sports.
And no, I mean, like I said, they got a tough upcoming schedule, but if they want to lock down the division, they're gonna have to get their stuff together. So yeah. And
Philly, they look like they're gonna run away with this thing from our division. Maybe because they're good, the rest of the guys are bad. I mean, I had picked at the beginning of the season, of course, like you said, injuries can change everything, and I picked the Redskins to go to the Super Bowl because they look so good. They had that rookie. I don't know, Washington's had 2 rookies now that look like they're going to be for the phenoms, and now injuries are getting in the way. So that, I think I missed out on that.
I'll let Daryl go first. I mean, I got my perspective, but go ahead, D.
Yeah. I don't. Injuries are. We always hear people say, don't make that the excuse. Everybody has injuries, but when they're injuries to your key players, and you haven't stacked your team enough to overcome injuries to your key players, of course you're not gonna win the game. And that's what I like about the Texans. That's why I kept harping on the Texans defense, because they stack that defense. We can lose any player, any position on defense, and we have a backup to the backup that can come in and do the same type of job. And they rotate them the whole game. I mean, you talking rotating 10 defensive linemen and 10 people in the secondary. I mean, it's just a stacked defense. They're gonna be good for the rest of the season, injury or not. So I don't, I don't think.
I remember when you said that about stacking teams, getting teams, and your key players like the quarterback. I remember when Jimmy Johnson was talking about when he first came in, he was kicking people off the team, cutting them, getting rid of them, getting everyone scared. I remember someone asked him, says, "What if Troy Aikman had gotten out of line? Would you have cut him?" Well, no. he picked and choose who he picked on.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, well, it'd be interesting. They look locked and loaded. I mean, they're not just making the playoffs. They're making a run to go pretty doggone deep. If not, they got it. They're poised to repeat. Let's just call it what it is.
So.
That eagle is flying right now.
Let me put
Go ahead.
And I'm going to put my plug in for fantasy football. Do not play with the Eagles wide receivers. If you play DraftKings or you play any fantasy, do not play with those wide receivers. They are. He has too much talent at the wide receiver position to stack points in one player. They're just not.
How interesting is that for a new strategy?
Yeah. I had AJ Brown at the beginning of the season, and I had to drop him because no, that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, good strategy. I got to switch it to one other team. Patriots. My daughter-in-law loves the Patriots and always rubbing it in about, that her team's been so good for so long and the Cowboys haven't. And then all of a sudden they were bad. But now they're playing good again. And the Cowboys are playing the same. I mean, what, they only lost 2 games? I mean, they look like they're playing really well. Boy.
Good quarterback play.
Yes.
Yeah, good quarterback play. They have a dual running back set up. Again, talent at the wide receiver position. Stephon Diggs. You got a couple of those fellas who step up every single Sunday, and they can just go out there and play hardcore football.
Yeah,
and they played a few tough teams and still winning, so they're doing very well. Phew.
I think Brady must have left some DNA in that locker. Somehow he must have just got into the quarterback. I don't know, man, but they're having a good season. I'll get into
my wife doesn't watch football that often, but she glanced at it because it's on, and then she watched, what team were we watching? I forgot. They got one of those big old, looks like a balloon helmet on now. You got that new helmet. She says, what kind of helmet is that guy's wearing? It looks like the Goodyear blimp on his head or something, but I'd wear it too. I've had enough concussions. All right, let's change. Anything else in the NFL before we change sports?
I would say the Cowboys. I know they had a bye week.
Bring them up.
Let's talk about our boys, right? I mean, 3-5-1. I mean, they could have easily, it could easily have been, 5 and. Shut up there. It could have easily been like, I thought you were about to say something bad to me, man. I think it could be.
I said 5-5.
5-4, I think, or 5-4. Because it's bye week, but I mean, they got some tough division games ahead. I mean, they basically got to win out to make the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Now, so they got the upcoming game against the Eagles. I mean, if they beat the Eagles, that could give them a little bit of confidence, right? But again, we've seen this before, right? And they're abusive. They're like abusive partners in a relationship, and they just come back around, win a game, and give you some flowers, and you think it's gonna get better, and then put your guard down and just let you down.
That's what it would be. You're right. That's what it would be. If they beat the Eagles, that would be like flowers. I beat you because I love you.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming from a place of love, right? So, I don't know. So we can switch leagues now. I think there's something while we're in Dallas. There's some news coming out of Dallas, ain't it, Bruce? At the NBA.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, anything else, Daryl, for football before I switch?
No. I'm
NFL. I mean.
Yeah, NFL. I'm over it.
Okay, let me talk about the NBA. I mean, Niko got fired.
Woo!
And did you see how good Luca started in Laker town? I mean, Lakers, they're 4th place. They 8-2. Luca, I think last I saw, Luca is off to the 2nd best start in Laker history offensively. Only Wilt Chamberlain is ahead of him. Mm-hmm. And Wilt Chamberlain's ahead of him twice. But I mean, that guy was a scoring machine back in the day. So I mean, he is tearing it up. And I think the Mavericks are next to last. And AD's hurt again.
That's all.
It's pitiful. It's just pitiful what he did to us. But if he gets hired by the Lakers, and man, oh man, he better not step foot in Texas again.
Yeah. Well, see you later, Niko.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, how your Spurs doing?
I'm not a Spurs fan. I don't even know what you're talking about. I am a Rockets fan. So you can leave that Spurs stuff alone, brother. That's your team.
Well, we came full circle. It's basketball season again. I get to Mess with you all season.
I had that gray and black on. You out your doggone fine. That ain't me. So I mean, listen, Spurs, they're doing, good start, right? 8-2. I think that's has them good enough for first in the Southwest Division. So, I'm keeping my eye on that young player, Stephon Castle. He's coming out as a major contributor. He's averaging about 18.5 points per game, 7.7 assists. Something about San Antonio, man. It's just certain franchises, whether it's especially in the NBA, right? They just attract top tier talent, and even if they go into like a season or two of a drought, and maybe they don't really show up well, it doesn't take much to get them back, right? And I mean, obviously, with the big man at the center, man. I mean, that's still a solid franchise. If I was a betting man in the next 3 years, there's probably going to be another ring on that trophy.
Wow. We need to get a segment and talk just about basketball. Give our basketball opinions.
While we talking about my, NBA, let's talk about my team, the Rockets.
All right, let's talk about your team. Tell us about the Rockets.
Tied in the Southwest Division at 5-2. I mean, listen, they've had some good wins. Is this going to be a championship year for them? I don't know. I mean, they got Durant over there, the big major trade, the big 17 deal. So, I mean, we'll see. But I think like anytime you bring in, you saw this with the Lakers last year, you bring a top player like that you're trying to build around. And Kevin Durant, as good as he was, I mean, let's just call it what it is. His best days are behind him.
Yes.
But I think if they can build a good group, in which they've had, I mean, that team that they had, what was it, last year or the year before, where you had like 5 players averaging double digits, like you take a team like that only thing that team was missing was a leader. So if Kevin Durant can take the right role and be more of a player coach and mentor and not necessarily always have to be the option, I think that team has some gas, but it's just time will tell. We're too early in the season for us to see where they're headed, but that's still my team. I'll rock that red next week.
Yeah, and let's not forget we're missing Van Fleet. So yeah. I don't know when he's coming back, but a timetable for him? You heard anything?
I hadn't yet.
Yeah.
I got YouTube TV, brother, so I've been flying blind.
Well, I hate to admit this, with the Lakers, got Luca. Also, they have Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart went to my son's high school. So that gives me a couple of reasons to root for the Lakers. So I may be rooting for the Lakers unless Dallas starts turning it around. We'll see. But you think I'd stick with Texas? I guess I got to go with Texas, one of those other 2 teams down south, and then the Lakers.
Yeah.
Gotta root for somebody. Okay, guys, that's it. Like and share. Leave us a comment. What's going on with the NFL? Make any predictions for the Cowboys. Give us some feedback on the NBA. Who do you think is going to do well? How about Luca? He's off to a great start. MVP Luca. Come on, let's go. All right. See y'all later.
All right. See y'all.
All right.